In a quiet corner of the Shire, under a green hill with a perfectly round door painted bright green, lived Bilbo Baggins, a respectable hobbit who liked peace, 6 meals a day, and the comfort of his own armchair. He had no interest in adventures, dragons, or treasure. Adventures, as he often said, made one late for dinner. But fate, as it often does, had other plans. One fine morning, Bilbo stepped outside to smoke his pipe and enjoy the sunshine when a tall, mysterious old man appeared at his gate, Gandalf, the wandering wizard, grey hat pulled low, eyes full of wisdom and mischief. "I am looking for someone to share in an adventure," Gandalf said. Bilbo nearly dropped his pipe. "Good morning. I don't want any adventures, thank you. Nasty, disturbing, uncomfortable things. Make you late for supper." But Gandalf only smiled. "You'll do fine, Bilbo Baggins." That evening, as Bilbo sat down for his meal, there came a knock at the door. Then another. And another. Before he knew it, 13 dwarves had filled his cozy hobbit hole, tracking mud on the carpet and eating all his cakes. Their leader was Thorin Oakenshield, a proud, noble dwarf prince whose kingdom beneath the lonely mountain had been stolen long ago by the dragon Smaug. Gandalf announced that Bilbo had been chosen as their burglar. Someone small and clever enough to sneak into the dragon's lair and help reclaim their treasure. Bilbo was horrified. But deep inside, something stirred, a small spark of curiosity, of courage long asleep. And so, before the next sunrise, he found himself stumbling down the road behind a line of dwarves, leaving behind his warm home, his teapot, and everything he thought he was. The journey was far from pleasant. Rain soaked their cloaks, rocks bruised their feet, and food was always short. Yet Gandalf's presence kept them safe, until the night they met the trolls. Huge, ugly, and hungry, the trolls captured the company and planned to roast them for dinner. Bilbo tried to pick a pocket, and got caught. Just as all hope seemed lost, Gandalf's voice echoed from the shadows, tricking the trolls into arguing until dawn. When sunlight touched their skin, they turned to stone. It was Bilbo's first taste of danger, and survival. In the trolls' cave, they found swords, ancient blades that would later prove vital in battles to come. From there, the path grew darker. They crossed wild lands, fought off goblins in the misty mountains, and even lost Gandalf for a time. During one terrifying escape through twisting tunnels, Bilbo stumbled and fell into darkness, into the most fateful moment of his life. There, in the black belly of the mountain, Bilbo's hand brushed against something cold and round, a ring. Soon he met a strange, pale creature with bulging eyes and a voice like hissing water, Gollum. They played a game of riddles, with Bilbo's life as the prize. For hours, riddles flew back and forth, clever, strange, haunting. Finally, when Bilbo could think of no more, he blurted out aloud, "What have I got in my pocket?" It wasn't a riddle, but Gollum, suspecting trickery, grew furious. When Bilbo slipped on the ring, quite by accident, he vanished. The ring made him invisible. Using it, he escaped the goblins and rejoined the dwarves, trembling but alive. None of them knew that this little ring would one day shape the fate of the entire world. Their next trials came swiftly. They met Beorn, a man who could turn into a bear, fierce but kind, who gave them food and ponies for the journey ahead. Then they entered Mirkwood, a dark, enchanted forest full of webs and whispers. When Gandalf left them at the edge, Bilbo felt small and scared, but also responsible. Inside the forest, they lost their way. The air grew thick, and the trees seemed to breathe. Soon, giant spiders attacked, trapping the dwarves in silken webs. It was Bilbo, small, clever Bilbo, who saved them. With the ring on his finger and sword in his hand, he slew the spiders, cutting his friends free. The dwarves looked at him with new respect. Soon after, they were captured by wood elves and thrown into prison. Bilbo, still invisible, crept through the halls and discovered a way out, by sealing everyone in empty barrels and sending them floating down the river. They washed up at Lake Town, a bustling settlement at the foot of the lonely mountain. The men of the town cheered when Thorin revealed his royal heritage, promising to share the treasure once Smaug was defeated. Bilbo's heart beat faster. The mountain loomed ahead. Their goal, their destiny. The company climbed the mountain's steep slopes and found a hidden door carved in stone. When the last light of autumn's sun struck a keyhole, the door opened with a whisper. Bilbo, as burglar, crept inside alone. He stepped into a vast, glowing hall, piles of gold and jewels stretching like waves. And in the middle of it all, coiled in sleep, lay Smaug, a dragon of red golden scales, immense wings folded like curtains, and eyes like burning coals. Terrified yet fascinated, Bilbo took a single golden cup. The dragon stirred. When Smaug awoke, his rage shook the mountain. He sensed the thief but couldn't see him, for Bilbo wore the ring. Cleverly, Bilbo spoke to him in riddles, flattering and teasing, until Smaug boasted of his invincible armor. But Bilbo's sharp eyes noticed a small bare patch on the dragon's left breast. That weakness would soon matter greatly. Enraged, Smaug flew out to destroy Lake Town, raining fire upon it. But the town's archer, Bard, seeing the bare spot, shot a single black arrow that pierced the dragon's heart. Smaug crashed into the lake, and his fire was no more. With the dragon dead, Thorin reclaimed his mountain. Yet gold brought greed. Elves, men, and dwarves from distant lands came to claim a share of the treasure. Thorin grew proud and angry, clutching the hoard like a dragon himself. Bilbo, heartbroken by the quarrels, secretly took the Arkenstone, Thorin's most prized gem, and gave it to Bard and the Elven King to use as peace offering. When Thorin learned of this, he was furious and banished Bilbo. War seemed inevitable, until Gandalf returned, warning of a greater danger, an army of goblins and wargs marching from the mountains to seize the treasure for themselves. In that moment, all differences vanished. Elves, men, and dwarves joined forces against the Dark Horde. The sky thundered with battle cries, swords clashed, eagles swooped from the clouds. Bilbo fought bravely, though fearfully, until a falling stone struck his head. When he awoke, the battle was over, the goblins were defeated, but at a heavy cost. He took Bilbo's hand and whispered, "If more of us valued home above hoarded gold, it would be a merrier world." Then he closed his eyes forever. After the battle, Bilbo refused gold and treasure. He wished only to return home. With Gandalf beside him, he traveled back across the mountains and forests, through the lands of his adventure. The road home was quiet now, yet his heart was forever changed. When he reached his door, he found his house being auctioned. Everyone had assumed he was dead. But Bilbo only laughed. Let them have their gossip. He was content. He hung up his sword, brewed a pot of tea, and sat before the fire. Yet sometimes, when the wind whispered across the hills, he would take out a small golden ring and hold it up to the light, wondering where it truly came from, and what power it held. He had been there and back again, and though he was the same Bilbo Baggins in name, his spirit had traveled far beyond the borders of the Shire. The Hobbit is more than a tale of dragons and gold. It is a story of growth, courage, and the discovery of self. Bilbo's journey mirrors the adventure that lies hidden in every ordinary life, the call to leave comfort, to face fear, and to return home wiser. J.R.R. Tolkien wrote this story as a myth for all ages, where courage comes in small forms, and even the humblest creature can change the fate of kingdoms. In Bilbo's laughter and longing, in his trembling courage and quiet heart, we find something deeply human, the truth that home is not just a place, it's the peace we earn after facing the world.